I don't know when in our society we decided that clowns were all murderers now, but it's gone on a little long, right? Like at a certain point, they should just be clowns again? Maybe it comes back around to them just being fine and silly? I don't know. Kevin Jones and Elizabeth Tallman, these clowns got me flustered. Tried to convince me that Juggalos weren't so bad. And before any of you come after me for that, I got nothing. See you in hell.
You may love a thing that I can't stand. Spiders, tofu, watching Homeland. Our interests are all varying. It's fun to be contrarian. But I'll try things that you all love to see if I can rise above. But maybe there's a chance that I just won't. So in that case, don't mind if I don't.
Welcome to Don't Mind If I Don't. Hey, I'm your host, Aaron Gold. This is the show where I don't like things, and fans and experts come on and show me why I'm wrong. So, I can be like, you know what? I was wrong about this thing, but I've grown from it, and I'm a better person, and I'm accepting of all. Except that isn't going to happen today because we're talking about fucking Juggalos. Juggalos, the Insane Clown Posse, the rappers that you see around that all wear like clown makeup and rap about murder and Faygo, which is a shitty soda. All shots are fired already. We're only 1 minute in.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about today, Juggalos. And today I have two lovely Juggalo experts. Coming up first, we've got comedian, writer, and recovering Juggalo himself, Kevin Jones.
Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Kevin, how you feeling? Don't cheer for that.
No, definitely cheer for me.
Also joining me, actor and former music marketer for the Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
She has worked with them. Elizabeth Tallman is here.
That is I.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
No, don't woot woot here. Don't woot woot here. You're newt newt. That's the no version of woot woot.
Wouldn't it be 2-2 if it's backwards?
Oh, good point.
Get off of my show.
Yeah.
So everything that comes through on this show gets rated on a scale of 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
0 is my ambivalence. Negative 10 is blood-curdling hatred. Juggalos. Juggalos, those sweet, sweet Juggalos, clock in at a solid negative 8.
Oh, wow.
I don't like Juggalos.
I was expecting worse.
It's. I mean, they haven't killed my dog or anything.
No.
It's like the most I can hate someone just on principle without knowing them. But fuck Juggalos. Also, why? Just why Juggalos? Let's tackle that first. Why Juggalos?
Why are they called Juggalos?
Why
are they? Why is it a thing?
Yeah.
It's a thing because it's at least when I was a part of it, it was just the community of people that enjoyed the music and the lifestyle. And they're like, hey, you're a Juggalo. I'm a Juggalo. We could hang out and kind of know who each other are.
Okay, see, that sounds great if it's like nerd things or fans of rap music or if it's like a community things, but it's a whole group all about rapping about murdering and raping in fun ways while wearing clown makeup and worshiping jokers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
This is a normal thing.
It is a subgenre of rap called
Yeah.
horrorcore.
Horrorcore?
Yeah, which started out in Detroit. Like, even Eminem, Grammy award-winning Eminem started off as horrorcore.
Sure.
He still
And then
raps about all that shit.
Yeah, but then he grew to do other things and talk about other things that exist in the world outside
But
of
there's
just,
always
murder.
there's always been from Alice Cooper to Marilyn Manson to Slipknot.
I am not ragging on music that talks about murder. Like, I get that. That's fine. But when it's your whole thing, you're kind of a one-trick pony.
But I thought we were talking about why the fans, you know,
Yeah.
and so
why?
that part of it is that graphic novel, that kind of dress up, be a part of something, you know, that from Gaga has her fans, Beyonce has her beehive, you know, everybody has that kind of following, and
Slipknot has maggots.
yeah.
I get that. And like, honestly, I listen, I went to high school. I wore spike bracelets. I listened to Slipknot.
Ooh.
I was there
Okay.
for Wait and Bleed. I was there for it.
Yeah.
But Juggalos always just struck me as a bridge too stupid. Yeah, was that agreeing with me?
No.
On
Juggalo?
some level.
Okay.
Like I think Juggalos specifically, I think it's mostly a Midwestern thing.
Yeah.
Like I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. Like Detroit's right there, and they were huge in the Cleveland scene. So, and for us Midwestern white kids that were into rap and into horror, we saw this as like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And so we want to hang out with other people who enjoy these things. Like now you hang out with comedians because you're a comedian and you hang out with other comedians.
And it's that way to kind of, you know, get away from your parents, it's that rebellious side of it. And I would agree, it is that kind of Midwestern, that's the biggest part of it. Yeah.
So it's a refuge for people with literally nothing better to do than dress up like clowns and rap about murder.
Well, when you're me and you don't want to play football or, you know, go out and beat up black people like most Midwestern hilljacks do, and you're like, oh, this is something that's cool. This is something I'm going to do. So that way I can be away from them and be a part of something that I enjoy.
So, Aaron, I want to talk to you about one thing that I believe strongly in this.
Okay.
As from dealing with them, and as a woman, I will talk about that separately. But there's been a lot of controversy about bands like this that, you know, have graphically violent lyrics. But also, there's a part about it that is also an outlet. A release valve, so to speak, for kids that don't have any kind of outlet to express their anger, their testosterone, to get that out. And so there's parts of it that, you know, you kind of look at the violence of it, and you also look at what does that do to help release that violence in a constructive, non-violent way. They're not out killing people.
Listen, I'm all for finding the thing to get whatever you need out of your system. I support that. I'm not against like violence in music or movies and video games.
Right.
Like I get that as an outlet. I'm just wondering, when it comes to picking outlets, why choose this stupid one that is really fucking stupid? It's okay. Here's a question. Is Juggalo their N-word?
No.
Okay.
I think that would be ninja. They call each other ninjas.
Yeah, ninjas.
They go, "What up, ninja?"
I'm going to flip this table. I'm going to eat this table, and then I'm going to flip this table.
But
with
just
it
remember,
inside of
we're
me.
trying to give you points to make you think differently.
Yes, no,
so
I
that's,
know.
I'm just saying.
But it just
you're
also
asking.
remember,
I'm pointing a finger at you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, the finger is pointed. The gauntlet has been thrown.
I retracted at it. Yes, you guys are doing these things to show me and open up my horizons. I'm just saying you've got a long road to hoe.
Right.
Because I feel like Juggalo music is like nerdcore. It's like gangster rap, but without being self-aware of how stupid it is.
Nerd. I mean, it's just a subgenre of music, and like some of it's really graphic, but it's also very interesting. They get very detailed in what they're saying. Like, I wasn't necessarily a fan. Like, I enjoyed the Insane Clown Posse, but I was more of a fan of Twisted and Blaze Ya Dead Homie. Like, these are really talented guys.
Twisted's awesome, by the way.
I am so glad you brought up Twisted.
I love Twisted.
They're my favorite. Well, they were my favorite.
I know.
All right. So of the Kevin, of the stuff you told me to watch and expose myself to.
Yes.
You told me listen to Twisted's Freak Show.
Yes.
Watch some live shows. I watched Twisted's Freak Show live at the Gathering of the Juggalos. The batteries ran out on my controller when I tried to change the video, and I legitimately panicked. I got
They were
scared.
controlling you.
No, I just thought like, oh God, well, I have to watch this for literally a second more. So just to paint the picture for everyone, their backup dancers are two like skinny serial killers in shitty clothing, and that's it. And they're not even dancing; they're just kind of swaying around with their machetes.
Yeah.
Why am I the one that's at all shaken by this?
See, I thought about this yesterday. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is going to be the worst podcast trying to convince you to like this because you don't like horror to begin with.
Oh, and hello. That's that you have to love, and I love horror. I love horror.
I like elements
and as a
of
comedian,
horror.
you should love horror because horror is comedy.
Yeah.
It's just in a really warped, fucked up way. I can say fucked up, right?
Yeah, you can go to town.
But yeah, I mean, and I look at ICP as a weird graphic novel, and the Juggalos are a part of that.
Which they've also had their own graphic novel.
Yeah, and big selling point, they have action figures.
Oh yeah, I had a
How
bunch of
friggin' cool is that? You have to be really cool to have your own action figure.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ does. So
Aaron
here's
Gold
the thing.
doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, boo! Mic drop.
All right. You okay? Yeah. Let's get into action figures for a second.
Yeah.
Here's why I can never forgive Twisted. Kevin, I asked you if you recognize the shirt I was wearing.
Yep.
Do you?
It looks so familiar, and I can't figure out what it is.
Because it's a comic book character shirt. My favorite fictional character, Jamie Madrox. And Twisted took my favorite thing and made it a Juggalo. One of the members of Twisted goes by Jamie Madrox, and I cannot abide this.
Yeah.
He pronounces it Madrox.
Fuck you! Fuck you! And fuck Twisted! No, they took my favorite thing and they made it a Juggalo. That's not cool. That's not all right.
Here's the thing. Say you're at a comic book store.
Yeah?
And you run into this guy named Jamie. And he's like, oh, I do rap. And you're like, oh, I'm a comedian.
Cool.
You guys can become friends because now
Yes.
you've bonded over this comic book character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying fuck this guy for ruining a comic book character.
Okay.
Who
no, he's not-
appreciates the character?
I respect for bringing attention to what I think is one of the most underrated comic book characters of all time. Not respect for taking his name exactly, calling that identity, and then just doing clown makeup. Like, change it a little bit. Make it an homage. Don't make it a direct, hey guys, if you Google Jamie Madrox and if you're curious about this character, look him up. Oh, you'll see stupid clown face and then check out immediately. Like, that's...
They're actually ghouls. They're not clowns.
They're rules.
Kevin, I swear to God,
That's
I
why they
almost
have
just hit
machetes,
you.
yeah.
I swear to God, I almost
I know.
just...
If you're
Kevin,
sitting
I
this
heart
close-
you more because that makes me happy.
It's...
Because I will say this, and Juggalos out there might hate me. I think Twisted is Violent J and Shaggy, but I think they're way more talented.
Oh, they definitely are. And like when they signed on and with Psychopathic, and then they brought in Blaze, like those were the moneymaker. Well, the talent that came in. So when they left, of course, the clowns are going to start talking shit about them.
Yeah. And just so you know, the clowns have sold over close to 8 million records.
I am not debating that they have been a success. Like, I can't argue numbers.
Okay.
What I am arguing is, fucking why?
What?
Like, it's
Why did
it's
Celine
like-
Dion sell as many as she sold? It's like, I don't go home and listen to Celine Dion either. So
Yeah,
you know,
but
it's
Celine Dion isn't gangster rap.
No.
Dressed like a clown, which just feels like impotent white boy rage.
But sometimes that makes me. She wants me poke my eyes out when I listen to that. That's painful.
I mean, look at Kiss. Kiss does it. Kiss
Yeah.
sucks. I hate Kiss.
Yeah, but Kiss at least did it first. Or one of the first.
One
They
of
were
the
at least pioneers.
Right.
Now there's a whole movement.
I would have to
Let's
give
all
it
dress
to
like clowns.
Alice
and rap.
is the first, I think.
Yeah, but Alice Cooper wasn't a character. He just did the dark eye makeup. He didn't go full face.
Well, he is a character.
Yeah, he's a character, and I'm not arguing
Yeah.
characters in music. Like, that's fine. If you have a persona, go for it. I just don't understand why this is a movie. You know what? I'll admit this. If it was just Insane Clown Posse, I wouldn't care. But because it's a whole movement of all these bands dressing up like this, that for some reason is the line that bothers me.
Kevin, do you want to talk about the Dark Carnival? The whole concept?
So the Dark Carnival was this is actually very interesting because I got full on into the Dark Carnival, being obsessed with the number 17 and seeing it everywhere, and then having this belief of afterlife that was just kind of like, they call it Shangri-La, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
For heaven or whatever the hell it is. And then, so I was believing in it and practicing seances, and that was really cool. Also, they rap about the occult, which is awesome. So I was doing seances and performing these things, these rituals, which nothing ever happened. But then it just ended up being God. And that kind of threw me off.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird, this whole concept. I mean, in theory, I think it was Shaggy's dream, if I'm not mistaken, that he had a dream about the Dark Carnival where everybody's judged before they go to heaven or hell. But it did kind of turn into this whole religious aspect of it.
It brought a lot of like angsty teenagers that were agnostic or atheist and gave them a belief in something.
And cool. But aren't they all, and pardon me if I'm oversimplifying this, fucking stupid? Like, isn't?
Yeah, I think they are. I will give you that.
Okay, I'm thrown for a loop here. Go on.
Yeah, no, I think it is. There's a dumbness about it in that it's also they do have a message in there, but it's also just be kids, have fun, be stupid. I mean, Violent J is not the brightest bulb on the planet.
No.
I think that's a good thing.
No, that's
actually,
very
I think
accurate,
Shaggy is, but I think it's, they go out, they have, I've been to shows of theirs and they're crazy. They're a lot of fun. It's high energy. People are having a blast. And it is kind of that stupid, don't take things too seriously.
I won't knock a fun, stupid concert.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest concert I've ever seen was Gwar.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that Gwar was a fucking amazing show.
Yeah. And it is. Their shows are sticky, albeit, but amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so I think that's part of it, because when I go to a show, first of all, I don't hear any of the lyrics. You're hearing, you just hear the beats and you're jumping.
There's nothing more beautiful than seeing a 2-liter of Faygo bounce off a trampoline and just shooting to the back of the theater.
Nothing more beautiful?
Nothing.
There is nothing more beautiful.
Beautiful.
Rosario Dawson.
No.
Fuck you.
Hey.
Fuck you on principle.
Well, I only said it on principle because you're trying to defeat what I just said.
Well, I think single-handedly they kept Faygo alive.
Yeah.
So just what they did as a brand, they kept a really crappy beverage in business.
Why?
It's
Don't mock me when I'm asking.
Why is Tab still in a business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is RC Cola still in business?
Yeah. Shasta.
Faygo is definitely better than RC Cola.
I wish we had brought some of each of these for a taste
I
test.
want-
Faygo has very specific flavors. Like they
Flavors.
have candy apple soda, but they call it pop out there.
Okay,
Yeah, it's pop.
Let me ask
I want
this.
a pop.
This is from an outsider perspective, but both of you have been entrenched in it. Here's what it looks like to me. This movement, this music and movement and not quite a cult, strike me like I'm not going to call them a cult when I'm in the improv community. Like, I mean, that's definitely hypocritical. Yes, yeah, it absolutely is. But at least we admit it.
I would say that it is cult-like.
Okay, great.
I was
So it
talking
is a
about this
cult.
before
Like
you showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's a cult. Isn't it the same? Does it have the same feel of those impotent rage white boys who end up grabbing AK-47s and shooting up schools?
I don't believe so. No, that's.
I'm not saying that
No.
everybody that let me just clarify this real quick. I'm not saying that everybody who has done a school shooting listened to Insane Clown Posse or even said, like, I did this because the Dark Carnival told me to.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, isn't it the same kind of impotent rage?
But that's why I brought up what I brought up earlier. I think that by them galvanizing and creating this community, there is an outlet for that, that teen anger. And I think it's, quote me if I don't think they've had issues within the community.
No.
At the gathering of the Juggalos a couple of years ago, people threw bottles at Tila Tequila's head.
Yes, but
And
that's
granted, no loss here, but I mean, because she's a Nazi.
That's a very, the gathering, especially when it first started, was a very precious thing for everybody. So when you had, they would hire people to come in and perform. like you had to be very cautious about what you're saying and what you're doing and not to upset that community. Like Bushwick Bill was there. And so you have this little tiny
Who?
Bushwick Bill.
Repeating it doesn't instantly put the knowledge of this person into my brain.
He's a rapper. He's about 2.5 feet tall.
Okay.
I forget what group he was a part of. One of those groups. I want to say like Hot Boys or some shit like that. I don't know. But like he was drunk and making a fool and certain shit with everybody, and like he got chased away.
You said that very sheepishly. Makes me feel like there are more details that you did not disclose just now.
Just because it's very...
Why don't you go into some details there, Kev?
It's very hard to think about that. Like, you see a bunch of white guys chasing down a black midget. It doesn't look right in my head.
No, it doesn't.
I would also argue,
but he's also being drunk and
and belligerent,
starting shit with people.
But I would also argue, whenever you get a group of like-minded people in one area, no matter what, and you throw somebody in with a polarizing view, you could have problems, and that could be in any situation.
All right, that's fair.
Like I've been to these gatherings, and they're nothing. Like they're super sweet people there.
Right.
And so you have to do something to antagonize these people to do that. I don't know what Tequila did, but
all right,
she probably called them a bunch of toothless hicks, and they got pissed off.
Yeah.
I can give you that one.
Concede that one.
Because like I was a quote unquote punk kid in high school. I hung out with the punks. I hung out with the goths, and I've never been every single like punk or goth or gangsta or biker dude or anything like that has a stigma in culture around that person is dangerous. With every single one of them that I've ever met, I've treated them with kindness and respect, and they've given me the exact same thing back and friendliness. Like I think that so I'm willing to give that misjudged as a whole. I guess it just strikes me as so fucking stupid. I can't get my head around how stupid it is, but let's digress for a moment. Kevin,
Yeah.
did you have a Juggalo name?
No, I did not.
Oh, what would your Juggalo name be?
I didn't. I have no idea. For a while there, when I was
Down with the clown.
No, when I was rapping. Probably not well.
Well, I mean, we're talking Juggalos.
I was calling
here,
myself Spooky Number 4. Yep. But
this shit is funny.
That
I
did
mean,
not
you know,
stick.
it is funny because when you go into these, I mean, okay, I will say, as a woman having to work these shows, it was freaking insane. I mean, I had a 13-year-old kid come up to me and go, "Yo, bitch, show me your tits." I'm like, what says happiness more than that? Not. So as a woman, it's makes me, it's completely misogynistic. But I will say this also, the reason why I do it is I'm a huge proponent of the First Amendment. And I believe that music is a way to express, and musicians are the anthropologists of a generation. They create a voice, they're the archivists, they create an outlet. And that's why I do that. And I will say, as marketers, they are genius.
Okay, listen. Bunch of things that you just threw out there. First of all, okay, agreed on the, music being the whatever it is you said.
Yeah.
2, I cannot get out of my head that I just really want to hear Spooky Number 4 singing Mambo Number 5. You told me also to watch Big Money Hustlers.
I did.
Elizabeth is very excited about this.
I have a gold record of Big Money Hustlers. It's on my wall. It's freaking cool. You want it, Kevin.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things. Here are my notes about Big Money Hustlers.
Okay.
First of all, I wrote it down with the dollar signs in the word hustlers.
Oh, good.
And a part of me died.
That's how it's spelled, though.
I know. And a part of me died. The whole script feels like it was written by 6th graders attempting blaxploitation.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all okay with this fact. This is a fact. We've agreed that it's a fact. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
Like it's not funny. It's not even satire. It's just lame.
I'll give you that.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed? Okay, great. I got 8 minutes in before I just couldn't. And then I stopped.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the moment I stopped, it's when Shaggy 2-Dope came on as this rhyming character that the NYPD needed to get this guy. By the way, none of this shit looked like New York. And I know that's a very low level complaint, but just that's where he's rhyming against the fat cop who was introduced by staring at his ass saying, "Oh, look at my ass, look at my ass, look at my ass."
That's a solid joke.
Can you
Great
feel
impression, too.
my respect for you
Yes,
just
I see it
evaporating?
Just going. Well, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 91%.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus, that was so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm shook.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. I'm taking my phone off of airplane mode to validate this real quick.
I will also counter that there was not one review on it by a reviewer. It was all fans.
Yeah, of course it is.
So, yeah.
Okay, hold on one second.
I'm surprised it's not 100% at that point.
Yeah, it was 91%.
I love that there are 9% Juggalo fans who are still like, even we can do better than this.
Yeah.
All right, hold on one second. Big money. Hustlers. Oh, I'll never forget how to spell it again. Rotten.
I just remember that
Tomatoes.
Violent J was so stoked that Harlan Williams won it. He got Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
I thought having Dolomite on it was pretty cool.
Having
Jesus Christ, yeah, 91%. No reviews from
Any reviewer, because I don't think any reviewer ever.
you had the Jerky Boys in there.
I know. Well, actually, sort of not, because they hated each other then.
They weren't in the same scene.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't.
No.
They were, because I was also doing the Jerky Boys at the time.
you have.
I
lived
didn't
a
do
life.
them. I just want to qualify that.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so if we all agree it's terrible.
I shocked you, didn't I? I shocked you. 91%.
What gave it away? Was it my scream?
The scream, ear curling. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, no, believe me, that's going to be a bitch for me to edit down later. So I
Sorry
apologize, but I have also suffered. So why do you like this? This Big Money Hustlers.
Because it's so
It was stupid
dumb
and entertaining.
It's why do you like dumb like Attack of the the
Attack of the
Killer Tomatoes? I mean, yeah, it's the same Attack of the Green Tomatoes.
Yeah,
That was by
anything
mixing
that's
Kathy
on-
Bates with
Right.
fried green tomatoes. And
I dig the occasional dumb thing like Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a bad movie. It's fun.
Yeah.
it's totally stupid.
Anything
and it's
that's on
there's nothing.
Vision.
Yeah,
The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
That's dumb as hell.
yeah.
but
I
it
love
feels
that.
like they know that they're being dumb and that it's okay. But with Big Money Hustlers,
You didn't think they felt that.
I think that every single take, I looked them in the eyes, and in their heads, I could hear them going, "We are nailing this."
No,
I could see Jay doing that, though.
I think Jay,
Yeah.
but not Jay. No, I mean, yeah, it was just a dumb. They were stupid. There's nothing. I didn't take it at all. I mean,
Here's the thing.
sorry.
I'm fine with stupid, but I'm not fine with lack of effort. I think stupid can be great. Stupid can be a lot of fun, but try.
You know, this was probably at the height of their success.
Yeah.
And they were very busy. So, I mean,
It was, yeah. I mean, I think
No, you don't get that. That they made a movie.
they were touring, they were recording, they were wrestling, they were making a movie.
So don't make that movie. Like
Doing
you're
a
doing too
comic
many
book.
things. Oh,
How many things do you have on your plate, Aaron?
Ooh,
a lot.
All right, then.
Yeah.
But I at least try.
But
with
they
each one
weren't
of
going
them.
for an Academy Award here.
No, were they going for watchable? Because I got 8 minutes in before, again, my note is, I
Yeah.
just couldn't.
Yeah, but you know what, Aaron? I will have to say you are not the target demo there. They were going for their Juggalo fans, and they sold 136,000 copies of that.
My household had two.
Ooh,
Okay.
My
thank
brother
you.
had one and I had one.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
adjust. Let's adjust because doing Juggalo research for this episode was harder than any other research I had done. Like this was harder for me than watching David
Right.
Lynch movies. This was harder for me than watching a horror movie. This was just listening to the Dark Lotus album. I got halfway through before I involuntarily just said out loud without controlling it, I am so fucking done. And then just started listening to an episode of My Brother, and Me. So, yeah, because I needed to get that taste out of my ears. So, let's just put aside all of my complaints.
Okay.
I'm not the target demo. Fine. Let's make me the target demo. Turn me into a juggalo.
Okay. When did you reform? I just want to know which album.
So it was after the Wraith Shangri-La.
Okay.
So that album came out, and then shortly after that, I was kind of like,
What's your favorite album then?
Of theirs or of
theirs? Because we're talking ICP.
I would say it was probably Great Malenko.
Great Malenko? Okay. Because I think as a visual performer, I think, first of all, I love. It was one of the creepiest, weirdest video shoots I've ever been on was Tilt-A-Whirl. And
wait, I think I've seen this music video. This is the one, I was about to say the one where it's in a carnival, but I'm pretty sure that's about all of them.
Yeah, it was a carnival. But we did Let's Go All the Way and Tilt-A-Whirl and another love song. But Tilt-A-Whirl was truly terrifying because we were out in a graveyard for carny rides. And it was outside of San Bernardino, and it was really messed up. And they had electricians come up and try and restore part of the ride, so we got part of them going. And then it was an overnight, and all of a sudden, like all these carny people, like amputees and weird people, and were running around. It was so friggin' scary, and it was awesome. I mean, it was it was like it was genuinely cool, and the way it came together, it's a really it's really well crafted video.
It looks great, but I'm also a horror fan, so that's
but it felt
yes,
like
that awesome.
That one to me was the most authentic because it felt like it to me embodied the horror without stupid behavior. It was, to me, it felt genuine.
Okay, I can see how that would come from, how that would be a treat for horror fans.
Yeah. It was cool. It was weird.
I think I could have seen myself enjoying being on that set just for the experience of, hey, I did this thing once.
Yeah.
Okay, so horror fans having fun with rap. That's what Juggalos are. And they throw on the clown makeup so everybody knows, hey, just without saying it, I can see that you are also a Juggalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so keep getting me into it.
So for me, a lot, I think.
My soul feels hollow right now.
I feel that Twisted brought in what it means to be a Juggalo and creating that community when they joined up with Psychopathic. Like
Psychopathic Records.
Yes. To me, being the 15-year-old kid, you have Jamie Madrox telling you, hey,
please do not use that name that way. Any point you make with me will be lost out of just pure white hot rage overtaking it. So,
well, if I could pronounce his real last name, I would.
I don't remember.
What's his? Let's give him a new name right now. Jamie Madrox is
Twisted One.
We'll call him Jamie M.
Jamie M.
Okay.
Jamie M.
So here's 15-year-old me, and Jamie Madrox is telling me that
Who?
Jamie M.
You're not being a very gracious host by interrupting.
Oh.
You're not being a very gracious person by triggering me.
All right. So Jamie M is telling me, hey, you feel like you're probably a weirdo. You're a weird kid. You're into all of this stuff. It's okay to be weird and to I can't just be this gothy kid that's also into rap because the gothy kids, they didn't want to listen to the rap. They wanted to be dark and brooding. And I was, a young and budding comedian and also into heavy metal and rap music and everything else like that. So he's like, it's okay to be that way. There's other people like that. You don't have to be a part of the goth kids. You don't have to be a part of the hip hop kids. You still want to do that. You can do that. You can look at us. We're cool as shit and we're doing it.
Yeah.
So
and
it kind of gives you something to look up to and be like, hey, this person is telling me that it's okay to be myself.
And I think that teenage boy element, that's like why WWF. That's why Big Money Hustlers. That's why that kind of dumb, geeky behavior that they expanded into. That's why they have action figures. That's why they have graphic novels. That's why they created this empire, which included Twisted, Jamie Madrox.
Don't.
And they created this empire of that appealed to that teenage angst driven boy, which was you, Kevin.
So are you guys saying, because I think this is one point that I could get behind, that seeing these people being artistic and outspoken kind of provided the area for you, Kevin, as a young weirdo, to think, oh, I can expand too artistically. I can find my other group, and maybe I'll be a Juggalo for a little bit, but I don't have to be a Juggalo. I can be my own thing and find my own people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one. That is one thing I will give them. They provided that. It hurts to say that, but I will give.
Yeah,
I'll
and I
give
think
that credit.
I think that there's always every generation, everybody has. I mean, there's a reason you're reformed. You grew up.
Yeah.
There's an element of Peter Pan like behavior here too.
Yeah.
It's like you have an outlet to kind of find yourself, whatever that is, And I think we all had it. I was a little punk rock chick with pink hair, and we all had our outlets. I just personally, I like the music. The lyrics I never listened to. I like the music.
I'm glad we brought up the music. Let's talk about the music, because one of the albums that you had me listen to was the Dark Lotus Tales from the Lotus Pod.
Yep.
Listen to that. Intro
Halfway.
track. What?
Halfway.
Okay.
Intro track. Not bad. Alibaba, the very first song after it. That was okay. Alibaba was an okay song. I like rap over instruments more than rap over like electronic sounds. Like I think with rap over real instruments, I'm like,
Yeah.
You have my attention. I'm into this. But Jesus fucking Christ, just rap about real shit and not murder that you'll never commit. And
I mean, Dark Lotus, that album's more about magic and occultism than it is about, there's murder in it.
it's about religion, my friend.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's also, it's not about murder.
Let's Go All the Way is pretty hooky. We actually work that at radio,
I would like to
believe it or not.
read the opening lyrics
two
to a
spins.
song called
Two
Cripple
spins.
and Rape Me.
Yep.
off
How
that
about
album.
Another Love Song? That's one of my favorite
First,
lyrics.
I'd like to really
Okay.
open up these first lyrics from Cripple and Rape Me, which were
Cripple and Rape Me.
nope. Ooh, if only. If only those were the opening lyrics. Instead, they are scariness. Your butthole just spit in your pants. Scariness.
That's called sharding.
I know what it's called,
Okay.
Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand why that is in my music.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a line of, it's not a lyric. It's just him saying that.
It is very much a lyric.
a
It's
lyric.
it's the first lyric.
It is a
It's-
lyric.
it's not, I wouldn't say it's a part of the verse. He just goes, your
That's a
butthole
lyric.
just spit in your pants.
Because
That's because
buttholes are funny, poop's funny, shit's funny. What teenage boy doesn't talk about poop, his wanger, and pooping and
Cool.
farting?
Awesome.
How old were they when they did that song?
I'm not talking them. They're targeting their demo. They're
All right,
not
fair.
talking.
think,
Yeah.
think of some of the lyrics that Tenacious D comes up with.
Yeah, but at least they're doing it with a wink and a smile, like, "Hey, we're being stupid on purpose." This is
Oh, I think they're
these people
being
believe
stupid
it
on purpose.
I know, but they don't. They can't
Yeah.
aim higher.
Mm-hmm.
They can't aim higher. Tenacious D. They bring out what is it? Pachelbel or no, not Pachelbel. They bring out some.
But
abusive
Tenacious D is
people.
comedy. It is
Yes.
billed as comedy. This is.
And my argument is that Juggalos are also comedy. They're
Yes.
just not in on the joke. We are laughing
Yeah.
at them, not with them.
And
Am I
they're-
wrong?
They're also laughing at you because you're not in on their joke.
Yeah.
They can laugh at me all they like. I feel like I have the high ground on this one.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Another lyric that really grabbed me from that song, Cripple and Rape Me, when I start to think my skull starts to crack, and which I don't doubt, which I do not doubt from Juggalos.
You're pulling lyrics from probably one of the worst of the group, which is Violent J.
Yeah.
I will say that he's probably
You told me to listen to
right, but Dark
this.
Lotus encompasses, the clowns, Twisted, Blaze, and what Mars used to be on the first one, but then they redid it with Anybody Killer.
But how do you write a song lyric that's a horror movie. And that's what they are.
Okay, interesting.
Do you
Go
know?
on.
Does that make sense? I mean, it's like they're writing music that's a horror movie, but in a song.
I mean,
So it sounds like
Misfits did it, but it was punk.
but it was
like-
punk, yeah. So it's like when you're sitting here talking about when you read these out loud in it as separate from the atmosphere, the theatrics, all of that, it sounds very wrong.
Yeah.
When you see it performed, which it is a performance, it's an act, it's vaudeville of what it is. Then you're seeing a musical horror movie.
She's no point.
No, you bring up a very, very good point, and I think my apprehension against horror movies might be what's keeping me. Might be part of what's keeping me from joining in on the fun of this. Like for instance, I like the occasional stupid fun song that isn't like a comedy song. It's just stupid and fun because we all agree, yeah, this is stupid and fun. Like. Again, one of my favorite songs of all time, I'm not kidding, is Wild Wild West by Will Smith. It's just a good song.
Right.
It's just a good song. I will defend it to that.
Okay.
I am not defending the movie,
Okay.
but the song is fantastic. And like I can get into stupid cowboy Jim West bullshit. That's fun. Tongue in cheek, we're all having a good time.
Yeah.
So my Wild Wild West
Right.
is all the Juggalos Dark Carnival music.
No, because some take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay,
And also-
fuck those guys. When I
It's
say
not-
Wild Wild West is the song that defined our generation and invented rap, I'm doing it comedically. I don't actually mean
No.
this. I
Right.
just enjoy the song.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to go out and say that these are the best musicians out there.
You don't think anybody's going to say that?
I'm not going to say it.
There we go.
But I think majority of the Juggalos don't necessarily believe that.
So what do
It's
Juggalos
like
believe?
Some of them
I'm
are
gonna
like-
totally mix my bands, but like the Grateful Dead, and all my friends said like they had a huge following. Were they the best band ever? No. It was about the community. It was about the performance. It was about being together in a group of
Right.
like-minded people, and they smoked a lot of weed. In this case,
Sounds like a good time.
It sounds like
yeah,
a Juggalo show.
it does.
Oh.
Yeah. But I do think the lyrics, and it is because I find, and the lyrics are completely offensive to me. Absolutely.
Okay, so why be on board?
Well, because I worked for, that was my job.
You're paid to be on board.
But I also do believe, and I believe this to the core of my soul, that there is an outlet, that music, even offensive music, has an outlet and an avenue, and by denying it would be a huge disservice to our way of life here in America. It doesn't mean that you have to be out there for everyone, but I do think it has there. I look at this as comedy in a respect of that it is all, you can't separate it out one piece. It is the whole show. It is the great Malenko.
You brought up freedom of speech multiple times, and I do want to clarify. I'm not saying that they should not be allowed to be
Right.
juggalos or do this music.
Right.
I'm just saying that I'm going to be standing there firmly on the other side of it with both
Yeah.
middle fingers raised, looking at
Well,
them,
and they
saying,
also
you
do-
all can do better than this.
And they also do have a community kind of like the Parrot Heads that actually does a lot of good stuff. They have the Stephanie Foundation for diabetes. So they
Yeah, but here's
actually
the thing.
do this stuff that's, because they've created this hive mentality of people. So why not they broaden it?
When you say parrot heads, you mean Jimmy Buffett
Jimmy
fans,
Buffett.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. But they're not talking about murder.
Right, but they're also talking about
Getting
margaritas and
and
cheeseburgers.
cheeseburgers and getting wasted. And,
Like I
that's
don't
fair.
I don't like Jimmy Buffett. I don't
I don't care about Jimmy Buffett.
care about him either.
Right.
But I'm not like standing on outside of a Jimmy Buffett concert telling everybody to go fuck themselves, which is what you just said that you would do to Juggalos.
Or like, I want them all to try harder. I want them all to be better. Like, this is the thing about.
Are you talking about Juggalos or are you talking about the musicians?
Yes.
Well, that's you pick one. Which one are you? Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as I said before, the Insane Clown Posse aren't the most talented people in the world. They started a trend. They got like twisted, and these guys are very talented people. If they didn't wear makeup and they didn't rap about horror, I think like they would probably be out there and on radio probably. They're insanely talented.
I will say this, even though I can feel my soul start to splinter as I begin to say it. I respect the Insane Clown Posse. They have accomplished a lot. I respect any musician who can go out there, bust their ass, and get signed to a contract and then make a living doing the thing they love. Right. I respect anybody who can do that. Okay, fine. So why does this bother me so much?
Because you're not part of that tribe. Any artist that is trying to build and be successful is trying to create their tribe, right? The people that understand and have like-mindedness, right? And that's ultimately, as a comedian, you're trying to find the people that like your comedy, right? As a musician, you're trying to find people that like, you don't want everyone to like you, because then you'll be passe. And especially with these guys, their whole part is shock. You know, the minute they stop shocking, people will be like, oh, you know, and and I think that's why you grow out of it. As an adult, you're kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm not running around in my crazy, you know, punk
shocking
rock
isn't the most important thing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
To me, you know, a good pizza and going to bed on time is shocking.
All right. So how do we turn me as a non-horror fan, as a very particular about my rap? Like, I don't like gangster rap in general. If you're going to rap, I like it to be about real shit. Like, I think when Atmosphere or I don't know, Sage Francis raps about real shit, that's good. Like that, I'm like, oh, you're saying things that make me think. You're making me think and reassess my life with your music. That is well done. That is great art.
And I love Sage Francis and Atmosphere. These are great rappers, but that's one aspect. They're rapping about real stuff. I enjoy that. I also enjoy horror. So these guys are rapping about this. So you just.
I think we need to get you in. You'd have to convince you to like horror first, because understanding that. Do you? I
like some horror. Like I like suspense. I just don't like cruelty and like murder for the sake of nothing.
Yeah, that's what all these lyrics are about.
Yeah, this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, and like I just don't like seeing characters I grow to empathize with get murdered horribly for no reason, other than wasn't that cool to watch this person that you like get fucking chainsawed through the eye?
See, that sounds like a great movie.
That sounds like you like the person who got chainsawed through the eye.
Yeah.
You wanted to see them be happy.
My boss doesn't like a movie unless one of the main characters dies.
There's a difference between a main character dying and a main character being brutally destroyed graphically. Now, I'm not against gore. I think it has its place in certain cinema and stuff. But when that's the standard, like I think kill a main character, ooh, you've raised the stakes. You've let me know anything can happen, and I believe it. You throw a chainsaw through Fran Kranz's eye. I start thinking, well, God, you just did that to show me Fran Kranz get murdered. You did that to play with my emotions, not in an artistic way. You just fucked with me.
But horror. I
mean, if it's invoking an emotion, that makes it art.
Yeah.
So that means the Insane Clown Posse are artists in your mind as well, because they make you feel anger.
Ooh, good point. Ding, 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 ding.
My lip is curling.
That's good.
Probably
well done. Well
one
said.
of the best artists and influences in Aaron's life.
Oh my God! I might break my own equipment.
Well, okay. Do you like going to roller coasters?
No.
See, there you go. It's that same thing. It's like that drop. It's that, because a horror movie's about this whole point about like being on a carny ride where the thing drops and your stomach goes out your nose, and then you got through it and you survived. And that's kind of the the angst, like with video games and all these sort of things that create that ability, like, you have adrenaline, and then
I like that.
you have release.
I'm playing
you know?
Dragon Age 2 right
Okay,
now, and
so-
like I like the fact that I just went up against a whole bunch of Canary,
And
and
you
I was like,
lived.
ooh, this is a
Yeah.
tough fight. But yeah, I dug
So
it.
that is the
I
kind
don't
of
know
thing.
Canary.
But
It's
you
okay.
get the,
This
yeah,
is a like
that's a
it's
whole
even-
different podcast.
It's a game from like 5 years
Yeah.
ago. There was
Gaming.
small target with this one.
Yeah,
but,
and I like gaming. You know, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like there is
but
that.
it's not the same thing.
But there
It
is.
is.
It's that adrenaline. It's the feeling in your body that comes from that.
It depends on what you're into, because the video games I play are Grand Theft Autos and Doom and Wolfenstein.
And Grand Theft Auto, I think, can be fun. I don't like first-person shooters like Doom and Wolfenstein, but like I could get behind Grand Theft Auto.
Right, but,
But,
these
like,
are
it sounds
also
like you're saying-
graphic games.
Yeah, but like
where you murder people
okay,
and demons and monsters.
okay, those are video games, and I'm in control of those. Versus music, where it's people talking about like, yeah, I murdered all these things. I murdered blah blah blah. I killed.
Yeah, and you know
I
what?
fucked your mom's eye with a skull in my dick,
And you can turn it off.
and I did, and that's when I felt the
But
best.
that's great because that's what's great about music. What separates it is that it's not for everyone, and it is for people that it resonates with. It's amazing.
So
For
how do
people
I
that
make it
isn't-
for me?
Do you want it to be for you?
That's this whole podcast.
But no, I don't. No, I think what I'm trying to do is for you to appreciate what they did as musicians, as creators, as all of that.
I do.
Yeah.
I respect them for
Okay.
that. It's not my cup of tea, but I respect that they did a thing
Mm-hmm.
that was very hard to do, and it has created a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that takes talent and drive and dedication, and good for you. Bless you. Great job. Now, I'm trying to be convinced to be a juggalo. I'm trying to be convinced that I can be infected by their weird love.
He has
and
to
me
go to a show.
Oh yeah, he definitely has to go to a
That's it.
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I don't know
The
if I can be
last time I
surrounded by
went
that
to-
many people I don't like.
Last time I went to a clown show, there was a guy that wasn't a juggalo. And at the end of the concert, he's standing by the door. He's like, I come to a concert. I can't believe I get fucking pop all over my jacket. I'm like, why the fuck did you come to an Insane Clown Posse show if you didn't expect to get covered in Faygo?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fun.
It is fun.
You're so hot, you're in a mosh pit, and then you're getting drenched, and doesn't
And
matter
the
what.
shower you have afterwards is the best shower of your life.
The shower I
Peeling
had for
yourself
my
off a
ears.
vinyl seat.
All of these sound like bad. If I also have to listen to loud music I don't like. So you're saying the only
It's
way to
fun. It's
the only way to get me to like juggalos and being a juggalo is by going to a juggalo concert?
I think once you're actually around if you go to a show
Yeah.
and like you said that you were into punk rock, and I don't know if you've ever gone to a real punk show or anything else like that. Like
When I was
people are getting
younger.
fucked
Yeah,
up
when
in
you're
those
get-
mosh pits.
yeah.
I was
At a
in mosh
Juggalo
pits.
show,
Yeah.
you're bouncing around. If you fall to the floor, you're getting picked up immediately. Nobody's starting shit. Nobody's taking punches. Nobody's doing that. It's
They're
a
not.
fun release of energy at a show, and you don't have to worry about getting injured because they're not a bunch of douchebags.
Okay,
One
see-
time, I was crowd surfing at a Twisted show, and this guy, he jumped up trying to pull me down and ended up grabbing
So
me
not
by
cool.
the nuts, and I slammed down on my back. Next thing I know, there's that dude that dragged me down being dragged out the fucking door.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Now, okay.
And that's the community.
That is something. That
Mm-hmm.
is something, because I remember going to punk shows and metal shows and like jumping in on the mosh pit because it was fun. It was fun to just jump around and push people down. But like when someone fell to the ground,
They got
almost always everyone stops, clears the area, makes sure protects this person until we know they can get up, and like there's a respect there for just your common man.
right.
I didn't imagine that would happen with Juggalos. I imagined it'd be like, haha, you got fucked up. Look at this.
Oh, absolutely not. My first metal show was Fear Factory, and I was about to get in the pit. My buddy Josh was like, no, don't wait. And the music kicked in, and this dude just ran up and punched somebody in the back of the fucking head. And that's what my first metal show was, is seeing that pit and people just taking swings at each other. That's not a fun time to me. So
No,
And this
that's not a
is
fun
just
time to me either.
it's all a show. It's a not real,
yeah.
it's part, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just it's its own environment, that people are there. It is a community.
Right.
And they want to be part of that community. So that's why they don't want to fuck it up.
especially at the gathering, like say you're, $1.50 short for a hot dog. Guess what? You don't have to worry about that $1.50. Somebody's going to get you. Like, they're like, hey, like the first gathering I was at a campsite called Nelson's Ledges in Ohio. And people are just running around. There's campfires everywhere because it's a campground. And people are just running around with these torches, having a good old time. And I literally gave somebody the shirt off my back so he can light his torch and join his friends on this little marathon that he was doing. I don't know. It's
like the same, like why weird, people, it's this weird tribe of people coming together, having fun, the way that, every kind of strong following has that. And it is. And people that do try and screw it up, they're out,
So it sounds like I've been possibly, I'm not 100% on this, but possibly judging Juggalos as a group too harshly. Yeah. It's just hard for me to get behind any group that champions ignorance. And that's what it feels like they do. Like they celebrate their own stupidity. And that's that. I can't
it's like they're
that.
in a giant play. It's this crazy, you're a part of being a character in. And that's why people have their names.
It's LARPing, like Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
It strikes
LARPing
me more
for
as
the horror fan.
It strikes me more as conservative politics. In that we know, like, you're playing a game of trying to, troll me. Mm-hmm. And then if I react in any way, you feel like you've won.
I definitely agree with that. There's, like, I caused you to get me kicked out of the FYE in the mall because I'm a Juggalo. I win because you don't like me because I'm this.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid. It's just trying to get a reaction.
I got them kicked. Yeah, we did a whole in-store circuit with them at Tower Records, and that was the last time.
It's their fault that Tower Records is no longer around.
Yeah. No, it's not. But it was pretty awesome. Scary as crap, but it was awesome. I mean, what did I don't know. I look at when I was a young girl in that, any teenager, that young person trying to create their identity and trying to, we all do our little thing to piss our parents off and, push that agenda and all of that. And when you find people that say, hey, you're not an asshole, you're cool, you're fun, you feel like you're a part of something. And that's why the songs and all of that are just actually, I think, the minor part about it. It's the avenue that gets you to that community. And that's why they're brilliant. They've created this community of giving an outlet to young people that don't have it.
All right.
They were the first people in my life to tell me you are not alone.
Don't you dare. Oh. Don't you dare throw my own show at me, you son of a bitch. Don't you take my thing.
They made me feel accepted regardless of who I was and how I was feeling.
I've never felt this mixture of blood-curdling rage and at peace like I have right now.
So now you've discovered ICP. I think that's what it is, right?
So they provide a community for
It's a support, man. Like it's a family that you don't know. It's like,
here's the thing.
Say you're a part of the VFW. If you go to the VFW in Birmingham, Alabama, and you're from New Jersey, it's like, oh, you're welcome into this VFW.
No. I get that whole concept of pop culture tribalism.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I just can't. It's so hard for me to get behind any group that celebrates and champions its own stupidity. Like when it comes to big money hustlers, I got it. Let's just make ass, money. Isn't this funny? No, it's not funny. You could try and write a script and like put some effort into this thing that you are creating instead of just not trying and then going like, wasn't that great?
Okay, this is where I'll give you this too. I think that was really when they were at their apex, and I think they stretched themselves too thin. They were trying to. They were still doing WWF. They were getting into trouble with that. They were doing this. They were really like They were, that was at the top of their game. And but
taking in the moment.
Aaron, what would you do with that movie to make it good? And why would you
rewrite it?
Well, I don't know if it's. How much effort would it make to make it that much better?
Give me an afternoon in that script.
Okay. Challenge, throw down,
got
rewrite it.
All right.
Rewrite Big
I
Money
call
Hustlers.
dibs. I'm playing Sugar Bear.
Ooh.
I'm going to be reading it. If we can add actually a little bit of emotional depth into there, I think it'll make the comedy pop. I think if we actually make some jokes instead of just saying ass, money, ass, shit,
money.
fuck, like we could actually have something salvageable as entertainment.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
It'd
I
be
think it's
interesting.
possible. I mean,
I just don't know if it's even worth it, but
I don't think so either. I mean,
it's
it's
just
literally
what it
just their
is.
version of an exploitation film.
yeah.
Yes, but why are you on board with that?
Why not?
His head's going to explode.
All right.
Oh, wait. If his head explodes, then he is actually an ICP.
So there's people.
Ah.
So there's no way to win. I've entered
If,
into this
if his
hellscape
head
where I
explodes,
can't win.
we'll just film it and that'll be part of it.
There's plenty of movies out there that pay homage to different genres of film. Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Here's the thing: this ICP paying homage to a blaxploitation film is like Rebecca Black paying homage to the Nazi Party. It's one terrible thing paying homage to a worse thing. Why are we celebrating this at all?
But you're not the clowns. The Juggalos are.
What?
He's not. I mean, the Juggalos.
Right.
I mean, it's like this. It's just one
I'm
other.
decidedly not down with the
Yeah.
clown. I am up with the clown. I am up against the clown.
Okay.
You're actively against this.
Yes.
I'll give you. I will give you Big Money Hustlers. I
Yeah.
you know.
How
It's not a
gracious of
great
you.
There you go.
film.
I will. It's not a great film. It's not anything. But I think
It's
that it was. I think that they were spread too thin, and it was kind of one of these sucks.
right, and they're not real comedians.
Yeah, and they didn't do another.
They did two.
They did Big Money
They
Rustlers.
did
Right.
Big Money Rustlers, which
But-
I know about for some reason.
Yeah.
Because you watched it.
No.
It's your favorite movie.
Kevin?
This is the one time where the sequel is so much better than the first
We have to
one.
see his Amazon Prime account.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kevin.
He downloaded it.
Oh boy.
Should I
Kevin.
get out of arm's reach?
You really should. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
So if we started with me at a -8, gonna be honest, I still don't like the Juggalos. I still don't like their music. I definitely don't like their movie. I can understand why
Drum roll.
certain people are into it and that it can provide an outlet for them. So if we started with me at a -8, we're down to a -7.
Just a -7.
Yes, you made it move one notch in the right direction.
Okay.
I'll give you made it one notch worse or better,
Better.
but still fuck Juggalos.
This is also a guy that doesn't like Sonic the Hedgehog.
He dies in 2 hits. He dies in 2 hits. Now, fast little blue bastard, and I'm not good enough at video games that I can do it. If I'm going to play video games, I want to be able to relax and enjoy myself. I think culturally the characters are fine. Good for them. Great. I love. Go have fun with the characters. But as a game itself, no, I don't like Sonic the Hedgehog.
You gotta up your ring game, bro.
I can't. I'm not good at video games.
Oh. This is like
Also,
this is a throwdown here.
the Insane Clown Posse were featured in a few video games,
Yeah.
wrestling video games,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
backyard wrestling.
Yeah, just think about that. All of this stuff is targeting, young men.
Oh, great!
Wrestling,
I can't wait to see
video
what kind of young
games, all of
men
that.
these adults grow into. These what kind of adults these young men become.
Yeah.
man, you haven't been my favorite person today. Kevin, do you have anything to plug?
No, I'm looking for a job. If you want to give me one of those, that'd be awesome.
After this resume of an
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Kevolution1800. That's like revolution, but with a K for
right.
Kevolution. Great wordplay, right?
I actually do like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Beth, are you working on anything?
I'm pretty much taking the summer off to kind of work on finishing a book.
Ooh.
I'm working on a web series and then start back in the game again in September.
Anything anyone can follow you on with said book or web series?
Elizabeth Tallman actor.com or tons of suds at Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go. Or Elizabeth Tallman, I think it is too, at Twitter.
I would like to plug You Are Not Alone, an uplifting show about depression. The next one is Monday, June 4th at 10:30 p.m. Also, every Thursday at the Magnet Theater, come at sign-ups at 5:30, show at 6 p.m. The free Magnet Mixer, where anybody can do improv with anybody. If you've never done improv before, there's a great way to start out. I host it, and I'll match you with, if you're inexperienced, somebody who is a lot of experienced, and you'll have a great time. It's where I cut my teeth in improv.
It's fun.
It's so much fun. And I give away a prize every week.
Yeah, you do. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I have to bail on the Wednesday and do the Thursday.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Come on over, baby.
I kind of feel offended because when you said if you're inexperienced and looked at me, I was like, oh,
He did.
I was looking around the room,
did.
sir.
nope. You
I would.
looked
I would
directly
actually.
at me.
I would pair you up with a less experienced improviser
Oh,
because I
thank you
feel
so
like you take
much.
care of them. Yeah,
Thank you.
I've seen you perform and I've coached you. Like
Yes.
I believe in your
Yes.
abilities.
I have abilities. I don't.
He
do.
He gifts well.
Also, you can follow me at Hey It's Aaron Gold on all the things, or you can follow this podcast at Don't Mind Podcast at gmail.com. If you reach out to me on Don't Mind Podcast or email me at don'tmindpodcast at gmail.com, I'll say something nice about you. So
we should have the clowns email you?
oh my God, if they did, I would have to. I would.
Okay.
God, I don't
I don't
like
think they would respond very well to Aaron.
I don't think so either. And you know what? No love lost. But
I could just imagine Jay going, "Who the fuck is Aaron? Fuck Aaron. Fuck you."
And I can tell him, I'm the fuck who I am. You fuck you, you clown faced moron.
Yeah, bitch. You got your own podcast? No.
But anyway, I do want to say, W. Blaine Dowler. I like that you sound like a regal British gentleman. And I think that makes you sound very classy. And like you could buy the bad things away with the Insane Clown Posse. You're just a
W.
lovely
Blaine
dude.
Downer?
I don't know if he is a British,
It
but
sounds that way.
he does. And you know what? He seems like a good dude.
Anybody has a W.
Also, I'm going to shout out McGraw's Poskell or McGraw Poskell or McGraw's Poskell. Last time I shouted you out, I didn't know the correct way to pronounce your name, and I still don't. But I like that you're not mad at me for it because I think that you're a very nice person. All right, guys. Thank you, Beth, Kevin. Thank you guys so much for joining me. My heart feels heavy. I'm going to need a drink. It's not going to be Faygo. And thank you for listening. And as always, keep on minding.